We don't have to believe or prophesy or confess it.
We don't have to confess the name of the Prophet.
But look,
the Jews never have to say, to become a true Jew, right? They don't have to say, La ilaha illallah Musa Rasulullah.
Yeah.
Only La ilaha illallah.
Okay. You know, Raj, look, I want to break it down, this statement.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the Jews receive, the reason why I disagree, I'll tell you when, I'll break it down for you and see what point you can bring it up. What we say in Islam, that we also know through the Prophet there is only one God. So the one God is not just from a understanding of our intellectual point of view, through revelation. Yeah? And the Quran in chapter 18, the last verse 110, it clearly tells us that Prophet ﷺ said, Allah sent me and revealed to me there is only one God, right? So the idea of when I say Prophet Muhammad brings this information, so I cannot just say, oh, I'm going to believe what he has said and I'm not going to believe the source. He is the source of the information. So in Islam, it's much more comprehensive. So what we believe the information along with the source. And that is why I disagree with their kind of understanding. Okay, you can believe the information, but you don't have to trust the source or confess the source. This is where the difference.
No, you don't have to say the name of the Prophet to be a true believer. You don't have to say, you all you have to do believe in the one God. You don't have to say, I believe in this. They believe in the Prophet, but they don't have to say it as a part of the confession of their faith.
But I mean, look, this is their belief. But in Islamic belief, God always sent prophets and messengers to confirm.
But what I was trying to say to you was this. Because you had to put the statement down. There's only one God in maybe I think you had the Injil, and one from Deuteronomy, and one from you had from the Quran.
Deuteronomy.
And I was trying to say to you, the difference is that in these other religions, you don't have to say the name of the Prophet.
Okay.
To be a true believer.
Raj, I see your point. Very good questions, Raj. And I actually commend you for your beautiful question.
No,
you know the reason why
God is God is not going to reject any Jew.
The reason why.
Okay,
sorry.
God is not going to reject a Jew as a believer because he did not. He said La ilaha illallah and did not say La ilaha illallah Musa Rasulullah. In Islam, you have to say Muhammad Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
I think from a now let me answer your first question first. When we outline Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4, right?
You're saying all three are the same. All three are the same.
Right. Here to outline the people that there is only one God. We are not saying what is your testimony or your faith. What is the conclusive faith? We are just implying the idea, right?
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I was just pointing out the difference in the three faiths. You pointing out the similarity. I was saying, well, there is one difference as well.
No, the reason why we bring that in, because the concept of God actually get confused even in the Old Testament. Old Testament, Israel was referred as a God. Moses as referred as an Elohim. No. Moses referred as an Elohim.
Yeah, but Elohim is Khuda, not Allah.
The same thing.
No.
What's the difference between Khuda and Allah?
No, that one true God is different from just God, which is Khuda.
So are you saying many God? Because if you say one true God,
no.
How does that work?
God, it just means like a powerful being. It's a powerful being. But the powerful being is Yahweh.
So are you saying a God and the God? Are you referring a God and the God?
You can only, the true God can only be Yahweh. In Islam, the true God can only be Allah. But there can be other gods. There might be false gods.
So that's why we need to understand who the true God is. You know, if you wanted to know who the true God is, we need to eliminate the false God. Therefore, we say you cannot equate the term God, even if it is small g, with Moses or small g with Israelites.
So there's a difference between the Quran and the Torah there.
No, of course, with this Old Testament, we don't believe this is intactly preserved because Allah mentioned in chapter 5, verse 12, Allah made the covenant with the Jews and they rejected because Allah said, Yahrifuna. Allah mentioned clearly that.
What was the covenant?
What was the covenant? That they will pray 5 times a day, they will give goodly loan.
I think they pray 3 times a day.
This is on the book of Daniel. Book of Daniel.
I'm talking about
no. In the Torah, it mentioned like Old Testament, book of Daniel mentioned about three.
No, the Torah is not the Old Testament. The Torah is not the Old Testament.
Of course, Islamic understanding it is.
No. Torah is not the
When you say Torah, I mean, look, we believe,
It's the Pentateuch.
Okay, the first 5 books.
Five books.
Okay.
Let's go to.
Let me make it clear so that viewer doesn't get confused. Our belief, the Old Testament has a lot of information which is aligned with what God has been revealed. But it is not the Torah given to Moses. It was written by someone else later on, because the earliest manuscript, we have the Dead Sea Scroll, which is long after.
Yeah, long time ago.
Right. So, going back to the question of oneness of God, our faith is more compatible because we accept the source and we accept the information. So in a way, Islamic Shahada tie up. Rather than, okay, now if you say, oh, I accept Moses as a prophet, but at the same time, I don't say in my confession that Moses is the prophet. Otherwise, how do you know Moses is actually the prophet? So this is the problem in their confession. And Islam brings the holistic understanding and confirm us that, look, you have to trust the source.
What was the case? What I was trying to point out was the difference. The Jews, they don't feel they're required to confess the name of the prophet. They are only required to confess the name of God.
Yeah. So look, if I take it and I find this is a problematic, the reason why problematic I find, Raj, is, okay, you believe in God through Moses, but at the same time you rejected Moses on your confession. On your confession.
Rejected?
Yeah, reject him.
No, they don't.
If you don't add him, that means a rejection. So that's why I'm saying.
No.
Raj, imagine.
The Jews don't reject Moses.
No.
He's the greatest prophet.
Nah, exactly. Now, if
they wouldn't know.
Exactly.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't have the 5 books.
So
they wouldn't have the Torah if there was no Moses.
Now, Raj, we are very clear.
Yeah.
What we are saying is, if you accept Moses, then what's the problem is including in the confession. And that's why I believe.
Not just Moses. They didn't confess the name of any of their prophets.
Yeah.
They had lots of prophets. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, you call him Isaac, Yaqub, Yusuf, lots of prophets. They didn't confess the name of any prophet.
Yeah, that's why I find it problematic. Do you know why?
They were never told to do it in the Bible.
And this is why problematic. Because you accept the source, but you accept the information, but you don't accept the source.
No, you accept the source.
Right, that's why. Now,
they don't confess the name
exactly,
of the prophet.
this is the problem. Because as if I'm saying, Raj, you've given me money, but I take the money, but I reject you. I say, no, you're not important.
Moses is the only.
So that's why Islamic.
Moses is the greatest prophet, and they won't have the Torah without Moses. So they can't be rejecting Moses.
No. Now, if you say I want to accept Moses, why don't you include him in the?
God never tells them to do that.
Okay.
In the Torah, God doesn't say.
But do you believe that you have the Old Testament is exactly the Torah? Do you believe Old Testament is exactly the Torah?
Well, you're making a mistake. See, the Old Testament consists of 39 books.
Yeah.
Right? The Torah is only the first 5 books of Moses.
Yeah.
You know the
of course, the first. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about whatever we have. Now, I'm not meaning what actually revealed. I am saying whatever we have as an Old Testament, as a totality, let's say.
Yeah.
Do you believe this is exactly what God revealed?
I don't believe God revealed any of it.
Then it's no point talking to you, Raj. I'll tell you why. Because we don't believe the Torah they're claiming in their hand is the actual Torah. Because Allah mentioned in the Quran, Yahrifuna, they distorted part of the covenant. And the same with the Christian. And if you look at chapter, that will be a...
But you claim that there was a Torah at one time that taught pure Islam. There existed a Torah at one time that taught pure Islam, just like the Quran.
Look. Sorry.
You understand that?
No.
At one time there was a Torah.
Yeah.
It was given to Moses by Allah, you say.
Yes.
And it taught pure Islam.
Yes.
I have never come across any evidence for that Torah.
Okay.
Show me some evidence of this Islamic Torah.
Right. What type of evidence do you need? Do you need archaeological evidence?
Any type of evidence.
Okay.
Any type of evidence.
We need to ask for something.
Any evidence that is credible.
Okay. Shall I go back to
Show me some
Abraham?
evidence that there existed a Torah. It taught pure Islam. Where is this Torah?
When you say pure Islam, what's your understanding?
Like what the Quran teaches about Islam.
There are Quran, many teaching was not given to the other prophets.
Yeah.
Okay. So Islam with the big Islam,
none of them teachings would have contradicted the Quran. Nothing.
So now, I think there is two separation.
Let me speak.
Allow me to finish your points. So if you look at the Islam we have, which is capital I Islam, and the Islam before, there are Sharia, which is the rules and regulation. They were different.
But it should be contradictory.
No, it's not the contradictory.
Yeah.
It's based on the situation. God allowed certain rulings to it. For example, the meat of donkey was allowed before. Now, Prophet, when Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, he completed the religion. So there was a progression of banning certain things. Say, for example, alcohol. Even in the Quran, it was prohibited in 3 different stages. So it's not like straight away prohibited. So what we believe, when we come to Islam, we refer to the Moses and Abraham. We believe, did they worship anything else beside Allah, meaning the true God? And we find no evidence that they worship something else beside Allah. In fact, Raj, you can look it up, a verse in chapter 3, verse 65 to 67, when Allah said, "Ma kana Ibrahim Yahudiyan wala Nasrani." Allah mentioned that Abraham was neither a Jew nor a Christian. So why Allah is pointing out this information? The verse 2 before that, Allah is telling people, why you are arguing about something you don't know?
No, but you say
Torah, no, let me finish my point. Torah and Injil did not rebuild before Abraham. Abraham was before. So if Abraham was someone who is submitting to God, then any religion comes after which is not aligned with Abraham is false.
Yes. What I'm saying is, show me evidence for this other Torah.
I mean, what type of evidence do you need?
Anything.
Quran is an evidence. Quran is an evidence.
Nobody would accept it. I mean, how can you accept Quran as evidence?
No, Quran is an evidence. Okay.
That you're asking me to accept something as evidence, whose credibility I'm questioning.
Okay. Now, what credibility do you question? Okay. What credibility of Quran do you question?
Give me evidence from Bible scholarship.
No.
Give me evidence from archaeologists. Give me evidence from historians.
Okay. So we have many apocryphal gospel which does not believe in the Christian belief at the moment, like Christianity, crucifixion.
It's not the Torah.
What evidence? Tell me. Okay, I want this to be.
Give me a text. A text of the Torah which disagrees with this Torah.
Okay, that's why it's important to understand. You don't believe in Torah in accurate form. So it is asking a question of contradictory belief. I know something is wrong, but same time you are asking me to prove from the wrong source, which is I would say there is a fallacy called I can't remember that.
Give me any evidence which would be acceptable to historians.
Yeah, there are many historic evidences. Like for example, there is a book written by Abu Zakaria, and he mentioned on that they done some excavation in the village of Ur, Ibrahim, where Prophet Abraham, and they looked at the statues and stone has been mentioned. These also mentioned in the Quran. Now I'm providing evidence. Now you are not listening.
I'm talking about the Torah. Show me another Torah that is different from this Torah.
Okay, so when you say Torah, explain to me what is Torah for your understanding.
If I said to you there existed a Quran, right, which is different.
No, Torah. So when you say Torah, what do you mean?
You know, the Torah is the first 5 books of Moses.
Right. So do you believe it's accurately preserved?
Yeah, to a large extent, yeah. Because the Torah that was written, right, it only goes back to about 5-6 centuries before Christ. There's no Torah that exists before that time.
Is this Torah written by Moses himself?
No, Moses didn't exist.
Right.
No,
so therefore,
nobody's found any evidence for the existence of Moses.
What do you mean?
Historians have never found any evidence for the existence of Moses.
So but you know, the same historian said the only prophet we have historically proved is Prophet Muhammad. Why don't you accept now? Now I am giving you this criteria. Go and look at the historians say about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now you bring an historical ground. Now if you wanted to give a proof,
Muhammad existed.
All right. Now you don't believe Moses existed, so it's no point.
Because nobody's found any evidence.
So therefore, I think
it's like Adam. Nobody's found any evidence that Adam existed.
Raj, I think it's fair to call off the discussion because you are, with respect to you, go to intelligent question. But you are asking a question which you don't even believe in it. So it's no point.
No, you can. I mean, scholars study these things.
Yeah.
They don't have to believe these things.
No, but look, when historian give an evidence that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did exist, and we have the chain of narration goes back to all the way to the Prophet,
if
right?
If they prove that he existed,
I
will accept that evidence.
Who, Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Only that he existed. Not
Yeah.
I don't have to believe what he taught.
Yeah. Also, he's existed.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because there seems to be a lot of evidence.
Okay, so
The Quran is evidence.
Quran is an evidence, and how Quran is an evidence, Raj. And also, like, I don't know whether you know, Raj. I'm going to share something with you. Maybe you're not aware of it. We have something called chain of narration. Chain of narration is like, Raj, I learned from Quran from my teacher. My teacher learned from his teacher, and there is a certification called Isnad or Ijaza. From that certificate, we can trace back from my teacher to all the way back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is a tradition all over the Muslim world. We can trace back. That shows that we not only know who is our teacher is, where they live, and
most historians seem to accept that Muhammad existed.
Exactly. Now, Raj, I would ask,
but they don't accept that Moses existed.
Yeah, I mean, historically, the problem is it's not about Moses' existence. The question, Raj, I think is our lack of source, because we cannot go back.
Right.
Look,
I tell you what.
Because if there is a generation missing, look, if there is a generation missing in terms of converting the information, this is exactly the gap. So that it actually doesn't say Moses is historically because we don't have the evidence. Unless you believe in Torah, but you don't believe in Torah anyway, which is the first five books.
I'm not questioning whether Muhammad existed or not.
No. Okay. No. But what I am saying, Raj, now if we bring that historical argument that did Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam existed, now we find historian.
They have tried
confirm.
Because the Bible has had a massive influence on the Western world. Christianity has a massive influence on the Western world. So a lot of scholars, they did a lot of research to try to find out where this comes from. Where this Christianity comes from. Where this Bible comes from. Who wrote this Bible? So they did a lot of research. You know, hundreds and thousands of scholars spent all their lives trying to study, find out, research what happened.
And I think the issue is happened. I'll tell you why. Because they don't have the oral tradition like us. We have our oral tradition intact. That's why they had to rely on the manuscript.
They only have what they have.
Exactly. Now, the problem is their weakness because they did not preserve their tradition orally. And because that's why I cannot compare Quran with Bible. The reason why, because our tradition is oral. If we burn all the Quran now, at the moment, in 1 minute, if we burn all the Quran, it's not a problem for Muslims. Do you know why? Because it's on the heart. Exactly.
By heart, I know.
Exactly.
I'm
So
not,
therefore,
I'm not doubting that.
it's not like we are comparing up. Exactly. So I was going to ask you, Raj, have a look at the historical documentation. Basically, there was a guy called Michael H. Hart. He wrote a book called The 100, and where he put Prophet Muhammad number 1 on his book. And he mentioned about he himself a Christian.
What list? He put on what list?
He mentioned on his book 100 most famous people, and the book called The 100, and he put Prophet Muhammad as a number 1, and he said, I put Jesus Christ. I could have put Jesus Christ in first, but I cannot find enough ground to put him there. Meaning, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam put all category, like he's a spiritual leader, he's a husband, he was someone who's orphan, he was a state leader, he was someone who formulated the treaty. So all of the things he can put tick. That's why he was put Prophet Muhammad. And even historian like Mahatma Gandhi, George Bernard Shaw, they saying, even George Bernard Shaw saying Prophet Muhammad is the savior of the humanity. Meaning, if someone applies Islam in the land, you will have the totality of the peace. So look, historians made their comments about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not unknown to us, and we have our Islamic tradition. We have our documents about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we call it Sirah, which is the life of Prophet.
I don't know why you're telling me all this.
No, the reason I was telling you, Raj, you ask so intelligent question.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I must.
You made my day.
Yeah, you give so good question, but I want you to come to Islam. Do you know why?
No, but I can't come to Islam.
No, like this is an invitation. This is my wish, right? But in Islam, we are not allowed to force. But if you love someone, so give them the understanding of Islam.
If I found any evidence
Yeah.
that the Torah has been changed,
Yeah.
and it used to be an Islamic book.
Torah is not in discussion, Raj. Your own point, your own admission, my brother.
No, I'm trying to give you the reason how I would come into Islam.
Yeah.
I said this to myself a long time ago.
Okay, now.
Because Muhammad, he could not have known in the 6th or 7th century. There's no way he could know in Arabia that somebody had changed the Torah had been given to Moses 1400 years before Christ, and then somebody changed it.
Okay.
How could he know?
Okay, fine.
And so I thought.
Okay, so we use Quran as a source, and I'm gonna show you one verse, just one verse, right? And now this will tell us, summarize our whole discussion, right? And this is in chapter 5, verse 12, right? Chapter verse 5.
You got email. I actually wrote a whole.
Yeah, no, we can go through all the questions.
Listen,
yeah.
I used to debate with a Muslim site. I used to debate with a Muslim site, and I actually wrote a whole essay on the Torah and whether it's been changed or not.
Okay. Here, Allah said, so 12 and 13. Allah made a covenant with the children of Israel and appointed 12 leaders from among them. And then, by the way, this 12 leader is not the 12 of Isaac time. This is the time of Moses time. So don't complete the idea, right? And he said, I am truly with you. If you establish prayer, so this is the covenant between the Jews and Allah.
You're not talking about the 12 tribes of Israel.
No, I'm talking about in the time of Moses. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah. Now, this is the covenant between Allah and the Jews. And Allah saying, if you establish prayer, pay zakat, meaning tax, and believe in my messenger, meaning the prophet, support them and lend to them a goodly loan, meaning don't give them loan and ask for interest, don't exploit their weakness. So give them qard hasana, which just means return for capital. Like if I take £100, I'll return you £100, right? Same. And I will certainly forgive your sin and admit you into gardens under which rivers flow. And whoever among you to disbelieve afterwards has truly strayed from the right way. Now look at what after the covenant, what Allah is saying. But for breaking their covenant, we condemn them and harden their hearts. They distorted the words. Yahrifuna, yeah? So that distorted word. Now, Allah is the one who knows everything, right? So this word is coming from Allah. So Allah is telling the Torah that given to them, the Torah that given to them, they changed, they distorted the message. But Allah knows what is Torah, because Allah has, this is the kalam of Allah, like Torah, the Quran, right? So Allah saying yahrifuna, they already distorted it. Now if the book is already distorted, but now I'm asking the question, can I have the correct copy? It's a contradiction, because the heavens and the earth, Allah has confirmed that this has been changed, distorted.
But
did that answer your question?
What historians hasn't found is, they found, say, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, no, they found Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
In fact, this is the earliest manuscript for
and they found
supporting the
no
Old
difference
Testament.
in them and the Torahs that were later. They found no difference, and they have not found any Torah which is different from the Torah today.
No, like question is, when I am saying different Torah, do we have the original copy to compare? The problem is, I cannot say this is exactly preserved because I don't have the original copy to compare, right? Because you don't have the oral tradition, and because you have a missing gaps between the Moses and the Dead Sea Scroll, and we don't know who the author are, right? So therefore, I cannot say with full authority, this is indeed the Torah. Nah?
That's something I can't say that Torah is original or not. Say Moses was given a Torah 1400 years before Christ, and say this is the Torah, right, that has resulted now that it got changed or whatever. I can't say now that Torah is different from the one that was given to Moses. I have no evidence.
No, but then again, we know from the manuscript, the Dead Sea Scroll, when it was found, and by the way, Dead Sea Scroll does not cover the whole Old Testament. It's only few chapters of Old Testament, right? Few chapters. So we have already 2,000 years or 3,000 years of gap, if I'm not mistaken, around 2,500 years. So if we have 2,500 years, look at Moses. Look at Moses. Look it up. There is a gap of over 2,000 years.
No.
Okay, find out. Now I'm making the claim. I am making the claim.
Let me say one.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea Scrolls, right, are 2,200 years old.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't go back to the Moses. There is a gap.
No. And Moses is supposed to be about 1,400 years before Jesus. So there's a gap of 1,000 years.
No, what I'm talking about when Moses received the Torah to the Old Testament, which is the current evidence, which is the manuscript. I am saying within the Moses existence and the Dead Sea Scroll, I am saying there is a difference already of 2000 years.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Look it up. That's why I've done my homework. Look it up. Look it up. And I mean, we can.
You got computer.
Yeah. Let me take your.
Just put down, when is Moses supposed to have existed?
No, I mean, you can drop me an email. Like I said, I've given you enough. Let's catch up.
Have you got?
Yeah. Let's catch up on this one. But
I'll write you. I'll tell you my studies in the Torah, and I actually wrote.
But you need to look into the manuscript evidence.
This will have all the dates on.
By the way, I mean, another way we can know that Torah is not from God is internal contradiction. There are numerous.
No, there are lots of contradictions, but it's still the original one.
But now, no, if there is a contradiction, I cannot say this is from God. God did not reveal contradiction.
Oh no, you can't say from
Absolutely.
God.
So therefore, we can apply that test to know that this is not from God revealed.
Yeah, you can say.
Yeah.
But you can't say it's not original.
No, do you know why? Do you know why, Raj? Let me agree with you in something. There are so many things we agree with the Old Testament, like believe in one God. God communicated the message. You know, in the book of Leviticus about dietary laws, all of the laws actually don't eat pork and all of those things we follow as a dietary law. So we believe these God revealed to their prophet. So my belief is the Torah that revealed to Moses, not the Old Testament in the hand of the Jews. No. So this is where the fundamental difference. So even if we come from an internal contradiction point of view, we can confirm that this is not from God or not. Exactly. So therefore,
I've said that you already.
No, Raj, I thank you for that, for admitting at least. You know, a lot of people they say, no, it's from God, and you know,
it's got hundreds of
least you admitted.
There are hundreds of contradictions in the Bible.
Absolutely. So, but Quran is not like that. But Quran goes that Allah tells us in chapter 4 verse 82. Allah tells us. Allah tells us.
There is just today, there is a verse in the Bible, in the Old Testament, where God tells the Jews to go into the city and smash the babies against the wall, smash their heads.
Do you know where it is? 1 Samuel 15:3. Kill the baby, kill the children. Look it up. I mean, wallahi.
I read that about 25, 30 years ago.
And I don't believe this is from God. God would not say kill the babies and animals. And even Benjamin Netanyahu, he was using this verse as an evidence to justify his atrocious genocide in Palestine. So
sometimes I think that. I think what they're doing to these babies, I think maybe that's their mindset.
I mean, Raj, you can see it for yourself.
Yeah. So you want to write your emails?
Yeah, let me write. Raj, I think it was a very nice discussion with you.
But I wrote something on the Torah and why this was to some Muslim people that I was discussing this with. I wrote it for them.
You know,
but they didn't answer me back.
No, Raj, we have answered you all of the question here. Sorry, Raj. Can you read it or?
I don't know. I can't read it even my glasses.
Okay. Raj, you know I'm here. So, I mean, we can have another discussion.
There was another, one of your colleagues. I sent it to him as well. He failed to reply to it.
Now, look.
You know, I can't read that. Give me this is my paper, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, you say it to me.
Azizul. Azizul. Karim. Karim. IM 87 at gmail.com. Raj, you don't have to waste your time. I'll tell you why. We already confirmed the Old Testament has got corruption in it. So we don't want to use as a yardstick. Look, no.
What I'm trying to prove
I'll tell you
that the Torah has not been changed.
No.
It was always corrupt.
No, I'll tell you why it's wrong. I'll tell you why it's very wrong. Just listen to me, my brother.
Yeah, go on.
You already know there is contradiction in it.
Yeah.
Do you think this contradiction was from God? Do you think that contradiction, if you say it is...
God can't contradict himself.
Okay, so therefore, it is not from God.
No. Yeah, I know that, but it's not been changed.
So when he say change, if there
when it was first written, the contradiction was there.
If it is a contradiction, then the verse
it was man-made right from the start.
So that is actually confirmed. Also
it was never from God.
Yeah.
There is no Torah that ever existed other than this Torah.
Now
historians have not found evidence of any other Torah.
I'm glad that you agree.
This is the only Torah that's ever existed.
Okay, I'm glad that you agreed there is a contradiction, and there are confusion within the Bible itself, within the Old Testament, right? So therefore, I cannot use this as a yardstick. Okay, these are the parameter of truth, and now I'm going to evaluate Quran and New Testament. No, because the first premise, Allah said, yahrifuna, and then we look at the internal contradiction. Then you brought your own self, the verses that killing the babies and children. And we say these are the change book, because these, if something enters into God books, that means it's change. What happened to change? Change is something, this is an accurate form. Now if I give it to my stuff, then it's change. Now this is your original form, but if I give my stuff, it's changed. Now the same way, now if I give my stuff, it's changed now. The same way, when the Bible was, the Torah was on original intact form, now those verses entered into the Torah is changed. So now it's distorted and changed, and Quran confirms. Even they don't have the oral tradition. We have numerous evidences for rejecting the Old Testament. But like I said, Quran did confirm some of the message that we find it is aligned with the Quran, like dietary law, believe in there is only one God. But we have like,
when we first started this discussion, you said God had made a covenant with them.
Yeah.
And I said to you, why did he make a covenant with them? What was the point of the covenant? You didn't answer that question.
No, because look, Allah said He does things whatever He wills. So He made the covenant.
No, but what was the benefit of the covenant?
Okay, so Allah didn't tell us what is the benefit of the covenant. Allah said, I have favored upon you, I have given all of those things to you. But they used to say, we are the children of God. But Allah then refuted them. Why did then Allah send punishment for your wrongdoings? So that means they hijacked the term. So when the way they portray themselves, Allah said in the Quran, Allah said, "Ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa," that Allah sent human being as a nominee to the universe. Allah didn't say, oh, children of Israel are the nominee to the universe. No, Allah said, I have given favor upon another so that He can test you. So the idea,
I don't accept that argument. If it's your children, then why are you punishment? God says in the
but Allah mentioned it.
Yeah,
Allah mentioned
it.
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't accept that argument.
Why not?
Because in the Bible, God says, you are my children, because I have made a covenant with you.
Okay, right. When you say children, sorry.
I have made a covenant with you. But if you don't obey, I'm not giving you a law. If you don't obey the law, I will punish you.
Yeah.
So even though He calls them
exactly
His children.
So that's proved my point again. So here that Allah sent human beings to test people, and then He will favor someone, and He will not favor someone
your own
else.
child,
But
you can punish. If you have a child, if he disobeys you, you can punish him.
Yeah, punish.
The same way God can
punish for goodness, right? The same way God will punish the children of Israel by breaking the oath. Like what happened when Moses was telling them not to do idol worship. The moment he left them alone, what did they do? They start worshipping calf.
Yeah.
So Allah knows that. So the practice of paganism is existed within them. That's why Allah sent curse upon them. Why? Because they change the nature of worship to Allah subhanahu. That's why Allah condemned them. Anyway, Raj, let's cut it short.
All right, yeah. I'll send you the
please do so.
Please reply to it.
No, but Raj,
I'm going to have to find it. You know what happened? I wrote it down. And
but I have answered all the question, and I hopefully, it was a nice discussion.
Yeah.
Not like the other one.
No.
And I hope, it clarified many of the things that you are holding.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it'll give you an idea. When you're saying what evidence you want.
Yeah.
It'll give you an idea what evidence I want.
Next time bring it so that we can look it up.
No, I'll send it to you.
Okay, send it to me, and next time we'll talk about it.
I have to find it. I had it on my computer. The computer broke down. That's gone in the bin. Mm-hmm. I don't have one of the things you call USB or something.
Yeah, that
USB.
Yeah.
I don't have that thing, right?
Yeah, memory card.
Memory card, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to. My son might have it in his computer because he used to send it to me. I don't know how to use the computer.
Yeah.
I used to write it.
Yeah.
He told me how to use Microsoft Word and that.
Yeah.
Then I started writing, and then he used to send it. But if he's got it in his computer, I will send it to you.
Yeah, don't worry. And let's catch up, Raj. Let's catch up with the coffee next time.
Yeah.
On me next time.
Thanks,
it was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope it clarified many of the confusion that you had.
Yeah.
But I would ask you to read Michael Hart book. The 100.
Even if Muhammad is the most famous.
If you send me the email,
even if Muhammad is the most famous person, even if he says he is the best leader, that's not going to convince me. That's a personal thing.
I think rather than
That's conviction for Michael Hart. Not
no,
for me.
no, for me. Now we need to look at the objective criteria rather than okay what people are saying.
Yeah.
Objective criteria would be whether can I find him his trustworthiness. Is he trustworthy enough to accept his testimony? Is he truthful enough to accept him, or is he making it up?
See,
So we can apply those tests to see whether indeed he is a prophet of God or not. And then you can take it or not. It's up to your investigation.
Yeah.
So I would ask you to look into
I could
this.
talk to you on this for hours and hours and hours, and it will go further and further. Our discussion will go everywhere. So it's best to, like you said, cut it short. I'll send you this article.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah, no problem, Raj. And let's catch up another time.
Yeah, we'll do.
We'll look after yourself. You have a pleasure. Nice evening. Thank you. Okay. Raj question has clarified from our first encounter. I wouldn't say encounter, first discussion. And many of the point, alhamdulillah, managed to answer him. And I hope, may Allah open his heart and he can look into Islam. As many of the arguments are very weak. I mean, in one point he was asking, okay, he's agreeing with me. And another point he was kind of saying it's not changed. So, subhanallah, I don't know what's in his heart. Allah knows best. All we could do is to share the message of Islam, try to clarify any misconception he have, and I ask Allah to guide him to Islam. Please make dua, and also please not to forget to make dua for brothers and sisters in Palestine. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.